Yes, for example, one of the very simple technology for village level is collecting the rainwater and then using for animals or garden. But the problem was, in this case, the first rain comes with dirt and dust and leaves, insects. So this woman in a very simple village in Brazil, she invented a mechanism to discard the first rainwater, just simple. And that was a revolution for all these mechanisms. So the thing now is being adopted nearly 1 million pieces in every village in all over Brazil, with collecting rainwater, keeping for the animals in the garden. But I also surveyed 34 other technologies, very simple technologies that can be built by a carpenter or a welder or a bricklayer for garbage collection before it moves to the river, or for building a toilet in the middle of nowhere, or planting forest with local species, or keeping such as a community garden for vegetables. I collected all this in the book, which is being distributed in Brazil and abroad, called Water and Climate Change. What it does is to tell people that you don't need to depend on large corporations only or in governments only. You can do it yourself. Just a bit of leadership and capacity building, which I provide in the book. You can build wonderful things to face adaptation to climate change. This is the main thing of the book.
And who are the people involved in bringing these technologies to these small villages so that they can benefit from the technologies that you're describing?
Well, at the village level is the local leaderships, the artisans, carpenters, welders, all these metal fabricators. At the national level, you have a bank. Banco do Brasil is a public bank, a large one with branches all over the country. This is the one who gives the seed money for the community. So it's a combination between the federal sponsorship with the local leadership.
And you also have an initiative more related to adaptation, mitigation, which would be the calculator that you were mentioning, right? So can you talk more about that?
Yeah, that's another story. This is a computer program for calculating the emissions of greenhouse gases in a local milk farm, a dairy farm. It's a very simple calculator where the farmer can put a few data such as the number of cows, the number of juvenile animals, how many hectares is in the farm, how many liters of milk it produces a year. Put all this, you key in these numbers, and then you click here in the computer, and you have a number. Which number is this? Is the amount of emissions of greenhouse gases by a milk farm. That means carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. So this is a very simple calculation, in less than 1 minute. A farmer with a very simple computer can calculate the amount of greenhouse gas for a small farmer. I did this because large farmers have already very complex calculators with hundreds of parameters, temperature of the season, kind of food, kind of animal, and so on. But that's too complicated for someone who barely do some accounting. So this is very simple calculate for greenhouse gas of small farmers producing milk.
And how would these technologies, which are a computer software, how would the farmers be able to access these technologies that might be a bit costly for them as well?
Well, it is in the beta phase right now. I finished last week. Now it's going to select the number of farmers where I'm going to watch how do they go about in putting in the numbers, and then feedbacking and reshaping. But apparently it goes very well because it is really simple to use. We hope that before Paris next year we have it in full range operating in many places in Brazil. People can get it, either the book or this calculator, from the same source, which is a foundation, the social foundation of Banco do Brasil, called Fundação Banco do Brasil. You go there and download.